Hey everybody, welcome to Monarch. Today we're going to talk about the vocabulary collector, research-based ways to build your vocabulary in 3 easy steps when you are reading a Monarch book. All right, vocabulary is super important, so I'm so glad that you joined me today. We're going to look at your final 11th and 12th grade vocabulary strand, because I think it's important for you to see from 6th grade on where it is that you are expected to land before graduation. So what is that pinnacle standard for you? And this is that junior and senior year standard. Determine the meaning of words and phrases as they're used in the text. So of course we want you to build up your vocabulary, but we also want you to look at how can a word that's placed in that text impact the meaning of that sentence and set a tone, one of those like positive or negative tones, including words that might have multiple meanings, or maybe language, the word choice that an author uses in a particular way that heightens the senses of a reader or engages a reader in a way that allows them to lean into the text. So your vocabulary standard is more than just, okay, I need to know a bunch of words. Well, it's really, you know those words. How are they used in that sentence, and what impact do they have on the reader? So why is teaching vocabulary important? Vocabulary instruction does need to be explicit. You do need to have time each day to learn those words, talk about them, investigate the words. How are they used in other contexts? What are some ways that can help you learn how to easily remember those words? It matters because the more you grow with your vocabulary, the stronger your analytical skills will be, and your comprehension will increase when you're reading complex text. And all of our books at Monarch are considered complex text, but we also challenge you to look at our text set recommendations. And it's important that you build vocabulary in those areas as well. So when you're bridging back and forth between a Monarch book and our text sets, your vocabularies continue to grow and develop over time. So if you would like to spend some time, you can go to Google for Good and research vocabulary. You can see why it's important to learn vocabulary. It helps with not only, your understanding of the text, but it helps you be able to talk about the text, write about the text in new ways, in stronger ways. So remember when I talked about what do words have as an impact moment? How do they impact a reader? How do they engage a reader? The more you grow your vocabulary, the more you are able to engage your audiences and connect with your audiences in new and unique ways. I want you to memorize this acronym because there are 3 steps to learning vocabulary that I have found that work over and over again. 1, going online and looking up the vocabulary word and writing them down and writing all those definitions and just rewriting those definitions just the way that you see them in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. That might not be the best way to learn the word. You do have to start with a definition. Don't get me wrong. We have to know what it means in order to paraphrase it. But writing that paraphrase can be more powerful because it puts it into the language that you know. So I encourage you, while you read, to always have Merriam-Webster at a tab. That's how you can use your Google for Good. You can also use thesaurus.com. So either one of those that best suits your style. I oftentimes may have both up at one time, and I can toggle between the two. But I'm looking at definitions, but I'm not just looking at them to memorize some very strict, formulaic, formal way of saying a definition and what it means, but I'm saying it in my terms. I'm paraphrasing. So that's what's going to first get you started with easy as pie, is to paraphrase. Next, pull up Google for Good and always have a tab ready for you to be able to pop and look for images. So you've paraphrased the word, now look for an image that helps express that word. Even if it's just a symbol, even if you're close, hold on to that image. You can save it. You can put it up in our graphic organizer. You can make a Google slide for every Monarch book, and you can keep a vocabulary builder chart. Then you need to engage with the words, and that is how you can make learning vocabulary easy as pie. You're paraphrasing, putting in your own words. You're finding an image that matters to you and help you remember, but then you're engaging with words. What do I mean by engage with a word? One, you're connecting to that word. You're saying maybe, hey, I remember that. That really describes something I saw in a movie or in a show I binge watched. Or maybe I read this somewhere else in something that we were doing and I see how that connects. Or maybe my family was talking about this. And you start putting it into like the real world scenario. You're engaging. That helps you make deeper meaning connections. That's what you're doing when you're engaging. You're not just playing a note card game when you're engaging. You're making deeper meaning when you're engaging, and you're talking about the word. You're sharing the word with someone. You're using the word in a sentence when you're speaking, but you're also writing about the word. And that's how you can engage, by speaking and writing about those vocabulary words that you're learning. So let's go over pie one more time. Paraphrase, image, engage. Say it again. Say it with me. Paraphrase, image, engage. Now, if you've got an index card or sticky note, I want you to go ahead and write paraphrase, image, engage. Pretty big. Make it simple as pie, easy as pie. Make it go straight down on your card. And I want you to kind of hold that card with you, because those are the three best surefire ways that I can try to teach you on how to learn vocabulary on your own. You paraphrase those definitions, you find an image that matters to you, then you engage with those words. All right. So when you're paraphrasing, remember to say it your way. Not your teacher's way, not your friend's way, but make it matter to you. Find a picture or a symbol that matters to you as well. That image is number 2. And finally, extend your understanding by engaging with the words. That means you're speaking, using the word, and writing about the words. You're sharing your vocabulary out. So here are some questions to consider. I always like to leave you with questions at Monarch so you can carry this work further. How do you know which words are best to focus on? 1, it's words that can help you understand the text. That with context clues, you couldn't figure the word out. You have time, so you spend that minute jumping on, looking over Google for Good. I want you to time yourself. This is a fun exercise. Sometimes it can take you up to 10 seconds to look up a word. And if you're looking up a word in an image, maybe 15 to 20 seconds. See how long it might take you. So that way, when you're reading on your own, you're building your vocabulary. It's helping you to understand the text. But I also want you to look for words that can help you speak about maybe the characters or the setting or the description. Maybe you can find words that can help you write about the bigger pictures and the themes that are happening within the text. So look for words that help you understand. Then look for words that help you speak and write about text. Next, I want you to write words that help you understand what's happening in ELA. So, for example, if you're looking for figurative language with your teacher, find some of those catch sayings that authors may use in the work that you're analyzing. And then you can say, well, this is an example of figurative language, or this is a simile, and this is how it impacts tone. Utilizing some of your ELA vocabulary from your standards, from your word banks that your teachers are teaching you on how to speak about text is very important. And you can use those at the same time you're learning new vocabulary words with your Monarch books. It's also important that you find words, these are called tier 2 words in our educational world, but what words can help you in other classes too? Just general words that can just help you in all disciplines. Those are important to consider. Now, you have a graphic organizer, and it's called the vocabulary collector, and I want you to see how it is built. Take time and see if you like using this graphic organizer. You may like the chart format. You may like this. You may like a Google slide. You may like writing them down in your notebook and drawing your own symbols and images. And that's where it's important for you to find your way. So that's our number one way, to points to consider when studying vocabulary. What is your way? This is the Monarch way, the vocabulary collector, like you see on your screen. You can see those symbols or images have a big portion here because that's a big part about pi, right? It's the word, the paraphrase, the image, and the engagement. But find your way. What is it? And then study those words. Look back over them. Kind of revisit them. You're not just there doing it one and done. You're there, you're going to revisit, you're going to refer back to your collection sheet or your slide or your chart or your notes, and you're going to refer back, especially when it's time for you to speak and engage with others about that Monarch book or about that text set piece. You're going to refer back. You're going to look at your notes. You're going to look at your words. And you're going to say, how can I speak these words? How can this word help me describe this character in this unique and cool way? And you're going to build that vocabulary in, and you're going to engage yourself with those words. And your teacher's not going to tell you to do it. They're not going to remind you to go back. You're going to do it because that's what makes you a stronger learner. You're going to go back to that work and you're going to engage. You're going to reference it, but then you're going to speak them. You're going to use them in your writing, and you're going to be able to build those vocabulary skills that you need to help you understand complex text. So don't forget about your graphic organizer. You can find it at our free ELA literacy lessons online on our website at monarcheducationalservices.com. All right, thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions about vocabulary or you would like to share with me your favorite way to study, you can send it to me, Dr. Jen Lowry, at monarcheducationalservices@gmail.com. Good luck. You're going to keep your collector throughout all your novel studies and your text sets, and you will build your vocabulary over time. I promise. All right, have a great day.